Welcome back to another episode of DWD's Trapcast. It's been 30 days, and that's not good because I promised them weekly last episode. I said every week, and they didn't see me back for a month. But it's been busy. We've been doing a lot of shit trying to invest back into this podcast. Boring shit, but I don't know if people want to hear it or not. But basically, I'm in the process of registering it as an LLC, and as we were getting ready for this episode, I saw that we have the first ad that was placed on an episode. So that was pretty fucking cool to see. I don't know if I'll start seeing money from that or who's getting paid because fuck them. That's my money. But, oh, shit. You're not really supposed to cuss in the first 60 seconds if an episode's being monetized, but who gives a fudge? Anyways, today, it's a different type of episode just because it's a one-on-one, but this is what I want to do. This is okay. I'm just gonna introduce. We got Dominic Larson in the room.
What up? What up?
Welcome. As you know, he's been on before. Oh fuck. And to be honest, we're gonna try and explore for him being a permanent co-host because I think that'll be good. And so we're gonna take like this episode to I guess kind of get to know each other more. You know what I mean? Almost like a first date, but. There's one in particular crazy story due to recent events in the city. I'm not going to say names. I ain't going to do nothing like that. But we have firsthand someone who has gone through some crazy stuff. So you want to just start the story?
Yeah. So I just quit my job up in Wisconsin. I was working with my dad.
Yeah.
And I was reckless. I was that's all I'm gonna say. I was
Reckless Gamer 77 on Twitch, by the way.
Yeah, 7719.
Oh shit, my bad. We'll put a link in the episode. Though,
all right, but yeah, I just quit my job. I moved back down to Iowa, and
where from?
From Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin.
That's right.
Yeah,
that makes sense because you still go up there to.
Yeah, I go up there to help my dad and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
And I was going to a lot of parties at Kirkwood. And just and all sorts of shit. I was 20 at the time.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you, but I don't know if you see me over here frantically looking. I've been looking for one of my vapes, and I realized I put it in my sock, and it's one of the most ridiculous things ever. And I'm like, anyone watching this would be. All right, I'm sorry, but go back to what you're saying.
Yeah, I was 20 at the time.
Yeah,
and I was just.
So this was how long ago then?
So I'm 23 now. I'm going to be 24. So almost 4 years ago.
Okay.
And so I had a motorcycle, a little crotch rocket.
There we go. I always wanted one, but I've always been my family's been the type of family who's yeah, you never get on a bike. You know what I mean? You would die on it. You're going to die, blah, blah, blah. The second you start that bike, an angel dies and you explode. You know what I mean?
My family was like that too. My family was very upset when I bought that bike. I bought it impulsively.
And that's the thing is I've been wanting one for a minute now too, but I am the type of person who will do stupid shit on it. I'm cautious, but I know how okay. I used to have quads, 4-wheelers, and I used to have that fear adrenaline, when you first ride them, you go about 40, 30, you're like, okay, but you get used to that. Next thing you know, you're going, you're doing craziest shit you would have never dreamed of a week ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's going to be the same story of me on a bike.
Yeah, I also broke my leg popping a wheelie.
I've never broken a bone. I'm such a bitch.
I broke it 6, bro, 6. But yeah, I broke it, showing off or whatever, being stupid.
Yep. That's a joke.
And I've done a lot of stupid shit. I remember I take my cast off and still ride my bike. I'd throw people on the back and stuff like that. Right, I remember I'd slap my leg up on the fender.
Imagine if you would have fallen on that broken arm, bro, the amount of pain.
Dude, actually, when I broke my knee, so much adrenaline was pumping through my veins. Yeah, I'd even feel it.
Yeah, you probably didn't until
the next day.
Yeah, I was about to say the next day. Actually,
I was walking, and I had a whole crack in my kneecap. Jesus Christ! And all I felt was every time I bend my knee. I was like, wow. I was more worried about my bike than I was about my knee. The bike weighed about 350 pounds when it. So it was a heavy bike. It was a R3 2015 Yamaha, and it was blue. Did a lot of upgrades to it and shit like that. But so it was probably about March. That's when I quit my job. So it's 2 days after I quit my job, and some people hit me up.
This was 2016 or 2017.
20. So
I'm just trying to see what
2017, 2018.
Okay, so we got Love Is Rage 2. We were throwing on
Oh,
Sauce
yeah.
It Up. And,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn, what a summer.
Yes.
Some cool shit did go down. I get what happened.
Yeah, so I got hit up for a party, and I was contemplating on to take my bike or my truck. And I was like, my truck is too much gas, I just quit my job, so I'm gonna take my bike.
We party, but we party on a budget because fuck this.
And I already knew I was staying out there, whatever. And so the parties usually start around like 11. I left my house at 10, and it takes an hour and 30 minutes to get there. So I wanted to get there right at 11. So I was speeding. So I'm riding my bike. It's March. I'm wearing a winter coat because it's cold as fuck. I'm not wearing a helmet.
It's that time of day where it's like a little bit nice, but not really nice enough to be on a bike.
It was probably like between 50s and 60s or whatever.
And it's nighttime. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm riding my bike, get through DeWitt. I get right past Grand Mound, and I go around this roundabout, and I see this car parked on the gravel or whatever. I thought they just stopped or whatever. It looked like a minivan. So I was going 85 and a 55. And by the way, I didn't have my license at the time. I didn't have insurance. I didn't have registered plates. I just used my truck tags.
Oh, yeah.
And then I also had a back
truck tags, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You took the plates off and put it. Yeah.
No, I put the sticker. Yeah, just the sticker.
Okay.
So because I drove that bike for 2 years and never got stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, I ran from the cops a few times on that bike.
Oh man.
I've ran 5 times from the police. The 5th time I got caught. But that's what I'm explaining right now. So I didn't have a full tank when I left. I had 3/4 of a tank of gas. So my bike usually...
Bruce Rivers, the criminal lawyer, always says when you start that car and you're about to go hit a stain, a lick, any hood shit, to be honest, you got to make sure that tank is full. That's number one rule. You can't get caught lacking out here. As Robin sees it, and you can't get robbed. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Jeez. And so I go around this this turn right after Grand Mound, and there's that car there or whatever. I just thought it was a minivan. It wasn't. So I come up to, I call it a convoy. It's a semi and 3 cars. And I look at my rearview mirror, and I see this car coming up fast as fuck. Yeah. Whoop, whoop, chairs and berries. All right. And I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? It took me 10 seconds to decide. So I also, I had a backpack full of alcohol. I had a 30 pack and a bottle of vodka, and then I had a couple grams of weed on me. So when I was 18 as well, I got popped with alcohol.
And this was in Iowa?
This was in Iowa, this chase. But when I was 18, I also went to jail.
Yeah, but so when you got popped with that stuff, where were you at? What state?
Iowa.
Oh,
I was in Iowa. Okay. So I was on my way to way to Cedar Rapids or wherever Kirkwood is.
Even a couple G's is a lot. Like that's a big charge actually in Iowa. It can be, but
yeah, that's why. That's one of the reasons.
I think carrying more than 2 charges or 2 charges. Fuck me, I can't talk for shit. You keep talking.
Yeah, and so this car's coming up behind me. It took me about 10 seconds to decide that I was gonna run. So I dropped the clutch. And I popped a wheelie. Didn't even mean to. Popped a wheelie.
You said double fuck him because we were taking off in style. The cop was so shook. He was like, I'm going to let him go.
So I flew past that convoy. And so I'm going about, I'd say about 125 now on my bike. And if I forgot what highway that is, but it's that straight stretch, that 2-lane highway that goes straight to Cedar Rapids.
I don't know.
But yeah, so I gunned it, and I lost that cop for about 3 minutes. I look behind me, all of a sudden there's 3 cops behind me. And so I got 3 people behind me now. I'm going 125. All right, my bike is maxed out, but going down a hill, I can hit 130. So, and so,
Dub's over here taking clothes off, losing weight, like fuck.
And I'm driving on the opposite road. People are going up down in the ditch. I'm swerving back over. I'm passing cars. I'm just zooming, dude. And people were flying off the roads. I was being reckless as shit. And I go through another town. There's another cop behind me. I go through another tiny town. There's another cop behind me. And the whole time, I'm going on the left side. I'm going on the right side. I'm just trying to bob and weave, get through people. And so I pull up through the third town. And I see it's basically a roadblock. All right. So there's a roadblock up ahead. And it comes up to an intersection. I'm coming to my left or whatever. And I can see the lights for probably a mile back or whatever. And he's just waiting there with his lights on. And I'm like, okay, he's just going to pull up behind me. No, I slow down to about 90. Yeah. And the cop tries crashing me while I'm going 90. So I don't have a helmet on. I go onto the fucking sidewalk and then I swerve back over. And then all of a sudden I lost them all. Yeah. I had 6 cars that they just all got stopped because of that roadblock because he pulled out in front of me quick as fuck. And so I drive for probably another 5 minutes and then they're all behind me. And I got another car behind me. So I got 7 cars behind me now. I go through another town. 2 more cars get behind me. And so I don't know how many towns there are on the way, but by the time I got to the roundabout to go to Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, they blocked the roadblock they put another roadblock at the roundabouts. And as I'm getting to that roundabout, my gas light starts blinking. And I'm like, oh shit, fuck. And I was going 120 and I went 120 around that curve. Yeah. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. I don't know. When you have that much adrenaline pumping, you got to think fast. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's a lot of accidents I probably caused.
We've talked about this before where me and you are both people that like in those like panic situations were actually good at like, I mean, honestly, like those weren't good decisions that you made, but like they were quick in the fact where you didn't shut down. You know what I mean? A lot of people will shut down in like these situations where
I kept pushing, dude. I kept, dude, I don't know. It's
the fact that you're even able to think about what you're going to do while you're doing this, you know what I mean, shows that like you're able to handle a lot of pressure and stress, even though you know that situation was a bad one. It's still a good trait to have.
Yeah, so they pushed me. I could have gone the opposite way, but I didn't or whatever. I think they had some barriers on that roundabout, but I got pushed to the right and I went down this narrow ass road. And so now I have, I think 10 cars behind me now. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going down this narrow ass road. You can't even park cars on the side of the road because it's that narrow. All right. And I'm flying down. I've never been down this road. And I'm going probably 100. And I go up this little hill. I get about 2 feet off the air and it dips back down. And then I come up over this railroad tracks and I get about 10 feet in the air. And then when I land back down, my front wheel starts wiggling. And I just slammed my hands forward to straighten it out so I wouldn't crash. Yeah. Because I did about lose it there. And then I realized that I'm going to get caught soon. Mm-hmm. So I grabbed my book bag and I threw it in front of me. And then I started grabbing all my important shit, my wallet, my charger, all that shit, because I'm ready to ditch this bag. So I'm throwing all that shit in my pocket. I'm going about 40 miles per hour. I'm looking back. I'm just like fucking taunting them at this point. And they have 3 cars just lined up right behind me. So they're like, and then the rest of the cars are right behind them. And they're all.
What do you say? 3 cars? Do you mean like next to each other?
Exactly next to each other.
Like they're both lanes type.
Yeah, there was someone in the middle. There was someone in the left lane. There was someone in the right lane. Little did I know that they had a roadblock. They had that road completely shut off. Yeah. Like probably about 5 to 10 miles down the road. And so like they actually had a roadblock. Like they had four cars at this roadblock ready for me. And so I'm coming up this curve and I finished getting everything in my pockets and everyone's behind me. I got those 10 cars behind me and then I just fucking gun it. And I get over this hill and I lose them for about maybe 30 seconds. And I get over to the left side of the road and I see a drain ditch. I throw my bag in the drain ditch. I come back over to the right side and I keep gunning it. I'm going about 120, seeing how far I can get, and I literally ran out of gas right in front of the fucking roadblock, and I already knew that they were
movie shit type.
Yeah,
like you literally like slow up on them.
Yeah,
like,
and
the tire
so,
puncture car type shit.
I they were probably about 30 feet away from me or whatever, and I pulled my bike to the side, turned it off. I got on my knees, put my hands on my head, and I got tackled by, I'd say, 5 or 7 cops. I'm a little dude. I'm only 5'9", 150 pounds. So, like, that was pretty excessive.
Bro,
I gave up. And
if it was
I had
me
my
on
hands
that bike, I would have gotten 20 warning shots in the back. And it would have just been a fucking everyone's still firing. They got tanks firing the bridge still. They're like, bro,
they had 3
breathe.
They had 3 guns pointed at my head.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
So they were standing over my head with the guns pointed.
I bet. I bet. Especially because here's the other thing about that. Cops in that situation, they don't get to do this shit often. So a lot of those power-hungry cops, they're going for that tackle too. They're loading the dog pile. He's like, oh, say some room for Benny, and he's hopping on.
I was mad as shit because I was wearing a nice-ass watch, and they scuffed that shit
watch,
up.
Bro.
Yeah,
say you replacing this Apple Fitbit, man, bro. I just bought her.
No, it was like a $400 watch or whatever. And they scuffed the fuck out of it when they tackled me. Like,
you had fresh Nike whites on too.
Dude, I had a fresh Nike hat on and everything, dude. I was ready to go party. And so I get tackled. They're screaming at me, "Where's the bag? Where's the bag?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And like at this point, like I was cold as shit, so I was shaking.
Wait, so what happened to the bag?
The bag?
Yeah.
It never got found.
I know, but did you say?
Just wait. Let's wait. I'll get to it.
I was gonna say, what did you do with it?
I threw it in a drain ditch.
Oh shit!
And so I threw it on the left side of the road, so they pulled me. They literally carried me. Mm-hmm. Like 4 cops carried me to the car, and they just threw me on the hood, and they slapped 2 handcuffs on my wrists. And see, my goal was to get to Cedar Rapids, and I knew Cedar Rapids pretty well. I was gonna drive through. I just wanted to get to Cedar Rapids as fast as possible, and I was gonna drive through fucking yards and shit like that, and I was gonna lose them. I already knew I was gonna lose them, but I ran out of gas. So they're like, "Where's the bag? Where's the bag?" As I'm on the hood, "Do you have anything pokey in your pockets?" I was like, "Nope." And they pulled everything out of my pockets. I had, I think, $150 on me. And then they threw me in the back of the cop car. And I'm starting to get mad because these double handcuffs are ripping the fuck out of my wrists. So probably I'd say 20 or 30 cars pulled up, squad cars. So I ran in 3 different counties: Jones County, Henry County, and then Cedar Rapids. I don't remember that county. But so I have cops from all different counties. I have state troopers. I have, I'd say, about 30. And they're all just sitting out there laughing. They're like, "Oh, how you doing, Jail? Oh, I'm doing great, Dave." And I'm yelling in the back. Like, I'm getting mad. I'm like, "Take me to jail." Like, it's like a Morgan Wallen song. I'm banging my head on the window in the back of a cop car. And they come grab me out, and they showed me the footage. They're like, "Where's that bag?" "I don't know what you're talking about." And they're like, "Okay." And then they called the canine units on the radio. I'm pretty sure they thought I had like a pound of cocaine on me. But so I ended up, we waited there probably 10, 15 minutes, and more and more cars showed up. About probably 4 cars full of dogs showed up, and they started looking through the ditch on the right side.
Was on the left?
Nobody looked on the left. They all looked on the right side. And so the cop that's taking me,
where nothing's left.
Well, the right side, that's the lane that you're supposed to drive on. So they're expecting I'm throwing it on that. I went and threw it on the opposite side. Which, quick thinking, fucking, I did it. I did it without hesitation. And So
And what exactly was in the bag? It was just the weed and.
It was weed and alcohol.
Okay.
I didn't want to get caught.
21 for
yeah,
sure.
So I didn't want to get caught with alcohol. I didn't want to get caught with
those
weed.
are just extra charges.
Yeah, those are extra
definitely
charges.
Would be doing the most on because like I said, even though it's only like even if it was an eighth of weed, they would
like
try
a possession.
A
possession charge would fuck me. Dude.
Yeah.
So that's like I didn't want to get any of that shit. So I'm where the cop gets in the car. He's like, "We're gonna go help them look." I'm like, "Okay, why don't you just take me to jail?" And he gets out of spotlight and he drives really slow and he's looking on the left side. And I decided after they took the second handcuffs off, I put my hands in front of me. I had to wiggle my fucking arms under my legs and pull my legs up and then put my handcuffs in front of me, which is a big no-no. I about got tased for it.
Oh, man.
And so he's just the cop, like, I told him, I was like, "Hey, just let you know, I did put my hands in front of me. And by the way, he has his window open for like I could reach up there and grab him if I did. But he had his AR sticking in the back too. Mm-hmm. So I could literally grab his gun but I wasn't gonna do that shit because I would have got federal. I would have actually done time. I was caught. I took it like a champ. I didn't cry. Crazy thing, I didn't cry. I laughed. I was fucking laughing at him.
I wouldn't have cried. I'm an emotional person for sure, but with all that going on, I probably wouldn't have cried until like you get to the cell part where like
I didn't even cry then. I didn't cry at all.
But at a certain point, you're just so over it. You know what I mean? You know what situation you're in. You're accepting it. It's like that gaslight came on. It's like
so they brought me to this big ass jail in Cedar Rapids. So they have. Like I don't know if you've seen that jail, but that jail is probably 4 stories high.
Is this just the county holding though?
I got put in the drunk tank at first.
Okay, yeah.
So I get there and they started to take my mugshot. There's this one black guy. He was funny. I was fucking around with him or whatever. But they gave me numbers. They let me go through my phone to get numbers to write them down so I could call people or whatever. And by the way, so since I was out of town, Cedar Rapids does free calling to people in town. But out of town is long distance calling and they charge like fucking $1 a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
oh my God.
Yeah. So
I heard okay, keep going.
So I'm getting ready to take my mugshot and I'm just smiling ear to ear. And they're like, "Stop smiling." And this one dude's crackling up. He's like, "No,
this fella."
Yeah, this fella, he's over here smiling. He's crazy as hell.
Fellas in Paris, guys.
Yeah, fellas in Paris. And he was having the time of his life just laughing his ass off because I wouldn't stop smiling. Yes, I know. And so they finally, after 3 retakes, I was smirking in my third one. And I had to get naked, spread my fucking butt cheeks, and they had to check and make sure I didn't have anything in my ass or whatever. And then they didn't even give me my underwear, dude. It was gross. I had to get in these fucking orange, nasty ass. People have been in them. There was fucking blood stains. There was liquids. Like body liquids all in the shit, and it was just disgusting. And they're like, "You're wearing this. This is all you're wearing." And I was like, "Okay." And so I go in the drunk tank, and it is packed. It is fucking packed. There's like 30 people in a 20 by 10 room. Mm-hmm. All right, and everything's cement. There's one toilet. There's one phone, and everyone's drunk as shit. I'm like probably the only sober one. Like everyone just got picked up.
You were supposed to be drunk. God damn it.
I know.
You were supposed to be drunk at the damn party, damn it.
I was sober as shit during this entire time.
Time out though. Okay, so let's go back real quick because I want to get like a timeline. So like how long was this chase? Like
this chase was between 45 minutes and an hour.
Okay, because I'm imagining now by the time you get to this place, like the cell, it's like 2 a.m. or something.
It was actually, I got there I think around midnight.
Okay.
So I left at 10.
10, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so then they had to do all their processing and shit like that.
Okay.
And then so I got put in the drunk tank. And this all I can remember is this dude, he was drunk for 2 days. Like they kept breathalyzing him and he was still shit-faced. His feet were purple and yellow. His toenails were probably an inch long. They were daggers.
Man.
Velociraptor nails. All right. Them were talons.
Mm-hmm.
And this motherfucker decided to put his feet near my head while I'm sleeping.
Mm.
I did not sleep at all that night. The first night I didn't sleep at all.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
And they brought us breakfast in the morning at 5 in the morning. And I was like, and this one guy, he was spazzing, dude. He got put in solitary confinement. He was just spazzing. He's like, I'm going to kill you fucking guards. And he's bashing on fucking the walls, everything. And I couldn't sleep from that either. And then, so the next day, they're like, you'll see the judge at noon. And they put us in all shackles and all that. And it was a video conference already because like.
Not a Zoom.
Yeah, it was a Zoom. It was basically a Zoom because some people get emotional when they get put in shit. So I'm put in shackles on the arms. And the shackles are connected to my feet. And so the next morning, we go to the judge, and I'm one of the last 3 people. I was kind of like weirded out by that or whatever, but the judge is letting everybody go home. They're like, yeah, we'll let you out in your own recognizances. And this one kid, he was 18 years old. Remember this kid like Noah that he talked to me because he got put in my block with me too. He was 18 years old. He stole the $50 lottery tickets, the rolls. He robbed 4 different stores.
That's a big ass
and he was getting charged each day because the judge would see him. He was getting charged for every single lottery ticket he stole. Each day he was getting added on to $8,500 a day.
Wait,
8,500 onto his bond.
Damn.
So he went. So me, this other girl, and him were the last 3, and us last 3 were the ones that were staying in jail.
Yeah.
And so he went up, and this girl went up, and hers was only like $1,000 or whatever. I think she robbed a convenience store as well, and. I went up. I was one of the last ones. I was the very last one. The judge is talking to me, and I got charged with 18 different counts, 18 different charges. So each county charged me with 6 different charges: eluding, driving without a license, no insurance,
probably
reckless driving, endangerment. And then it was falsifying papers for my
tag.
My sticker. Yeah, my tag.
Damn.
And so the judge says, since you don't know how to respect authority, we're going to let you sit. $5,000 for your bond. I was like, my jaw just dropped. I was like, fuck.
Right?
Like, I don't have that kind of money right now. So my bike is also in the impound. But so
hold on one sec. So we gotta go to an ad break real quick, but we'll be back. All right, and we're back.
So I remember the judge told me my bond was $5,000, and my jaw just dropped. I was in shock. I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
I'm going back. So they sent me back to the drunk tank. And then finally around like 2 p.m., they brought me to the block. All right. And so I'm going up there. I'm putting in population now. All right. So there's on this floor, there was 5 different cell blocks. And they set them up differently for like, they didn't want to put everyone together or whatever. They like kind of like, not like segregated it, but like segregated charges.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But my block was kind of like there was I was like the third smallest dude there. That was the first thing I looked for. They gave you croc, a bed, blanket, and that's it.
Croc. Oh yeah,
Crocs. Yeah, they gave you Crocs for shoes.
Those prison limited edition.
Yeah,
you got to go to jail and cop them.
Yeah.
See them on StockX.
Yeah. They didn't have 4-wheel drive though.
No. Listen, you don't deserve it. Anything you gotta do half-assed now.
2-wheel drive all day, baby. And so I get into the block. I'm looking around, and I didn't talk to nobody for probably the first few hours or whatever. I went to my block, and Muhammad was my bunkmate.
Yeah.
So how they set it up, they had probably 20 bunk beds in this row. I'd say about 25 because there's about 50 bunk beds in there. In a
room?
Yeah, in this big ass block.
Oh.
Yeah, and each block had like 50. So there was stories of blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So this wasn't just that was just one floor, and I think there was 4 stories. It's a big ass building, dude. It is fun. You can see it from the highway miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's in the middle of town in Cedar Rapids. And so I get in there, I set up, and this Muhammad dude talks to me, and we're just kind of, why you in? Oh, I missed my court date. And I was like, oh, cool. And he just slept most of the time. And then so there's only one TV, and there's probably there's enough tables for all of us to sit or whatever. Because each table could sit 5 people, so there's about 25 tables. And then there was a bathroom, no stalls, just 2 showers. And they had cameras in each corner.
What do you mean no stalls? No toilets, right?
Yeah, there's toilets.
But okay, just no walls and shit.
Yeah, no walls and shit. You're shitting in front of everybody.
Well, you said no stalls. I was like, where are you supposed to shit now? Just on the floor or something?
No, they had toilets just lined up.
I'm just
and then they had 2 showers in the back. Okay. So the Mexican dude, he came up to me and kind of watched over me. This one Mexican dude.
He looks on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He wore one sock up, and then he pulled one pant leg up, and the sock pulled all the way up to his knee, and then he just kind of did the cholo walks. And there was this one drug dealer that was cool as fuck.
No offense to our Mexican listeners. We love our Hispanic friends.
Oh, of course.
Liv Moss. Oh, man. That's going to make it seem like I don't, but I didn't mean it like that. Hey, man. Half my life I thought I was Mexican. I was told.
And so during those, so I've been in there 2 days now, and I'm trying to call people. I'm calling everyone. Nobody's answering.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this inmate, Cedar Rapids County Jail inmate would like to contact you, Dominic Larson. Yeah. And
can I tell you something?
What?
I was talking to Austin the other day, and he goes, I remember when Dominic called me from prison, and I heard the message say, a minute or $1 or an hour or a minute, and he's like, hell no, I'm going back to bed. I'm like, bro, why are you gonna leave a blanket right there?
And so I'm calling everyone I can fucking think of,
For
dude.
Real.
And nobody's answering. So it's hitting fucking day 3, all right? So day 3, I still haven't showered or whatever. And the Mexicans dude, he told me, he's like, one thing you need to do, always wear your Crocs in the shower. That's where everyone masturbates. Yeah.
I guess.
Number 2, just don't take your Crocs off.
Yeah.
Number 3, don't change the channel.
Fair.
The black folks, they controlled it. They loved watching basketball. And I made a mistake 2 days in.
What, change the channel?
Yeah.
This dipshit probably, I can see it already. Everyone's watching the game.
No.
You see Dominic's white ass coming up and changing it to PGA Golf Tour. And everyone's like, what the fuck?
No, so everyone walks away from the TV. I'm like, all right, this is my perfect opportunity. All right. I go and change it to fucking Fox and fucking Mission Impossible or something. And I'm getting into this. All right.
Man, haven't seen Tom Mason. What's good?
This one big black dude walks up. He's like, bro, you don't like LeBron? I was like, bro, I don't even watch basketball. I like football, NASCAR. That's about it. All right.
He said the NASCAR.
And he's like, bro, what is wrong with you? He's like, are you even American? And I was like, I don't know. I don't fucking watch basketball. He's like, I'm watching the game. I was like, okay, I'll change it back. Never changed the channel after that.
That's fair though.
And so during so my bunkmate next to me, I called him Tyrone. All right. And he's like, what are you in for? Like deep ass voice. He's probably like 6'3", 350 pounds of pure muscle. Like this guy looks like he hits women for fun. And
man.
He's like, I hurt people. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, but not me, sir.
I didn't talk to him anymore after that. So it's day number 3 or whatever. And so by the way, they bring food at 5, noon, and like 5. And that's when you eat. And you can get commissary or whatever. So I was in there around Mother's Day. So I bought my mom a Mother's Day card because I didn't know when I was getting out.
Yeah.
I bought like some shampoo and shit like that. I bought all this food. And so food is money in there. You can get whatever you want with food. So I filled my fucking there's like little drawers that you can put all your shit in or whatever. I filled my drawer with snacks and shit like that. Because I do be getting hungry when fucking, they're like 5 hours apart. So you're hungry and you get 1 cup or whatever and you fill it up in the sink and shit like that in the bathroom sink.
For water?
Yeah, for water. And they do have guards and shit. And so I'm starting to get social. I've talked to just about everybody in there. You got like the neo-Nazis in there. You got this one like short fucker. He looked like he was off of Mad Max, had a mohawk, and he was like probably 5'1". And he's just fucking hopping around, fucking like a little orangutan. And he's just constantly, he's hyping up LeBron when they're going on sports and stuff like that. And so about, I'd say the 4th day in, Tyrone, a new inmate comes in. I'll describe him bestly as he was bigger. He was a bigger Muslim. I just call him Lakeith. And so Tyrone's sitting at his bed. I'm sitting at my bed. And they brought books and shit around because, I mean, you're fucking bored in there, dude. I read 4 books in there. And
haven't read since.
Yeah.
I came out prison a better man, to be honest.
And I would do laps and shit like that around the block. I would like just fucking you start losing your mind a little bit.
For sure.
I mean, you had people to talk to and stuff like
Don's
that.
been in here 12 hours. He's talking about, I haven't seen the sunshine. Forgot what a woman's touch feels like. I'm going crazy, bro. I'm here fucking praying. He found God 6 different times.
Praise Allah.
Shit. But no, I know what you mean. Even like, because like you said, you already are now, it's setting in. Like, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I got to get used to it.
My next court date was 2 months out.
Yeah.
They were going to let me sit in there for 2 months.
Yeah, so exactly. No one's answering for real. Like, you're thinking, okay, I got to get fucking used to this. This shit sucks.
Yeah. And so the new inmate comes in and Tyrone. So the phones are right by the door where they let you in or whatever. There's like 3 phones set up there. And the dude that snapped on me about LeBron, he's sitting there talking to whoever. And most of the guys that were in there have been in there 6+ months. Damn. Like one guy was in there for over a year. And so, I mean, it's basically prison.
No, I mean, so not to get deep, but that's the thing is that obviously there's people there who deserve to be there. But there is like the situation, like you're showing that like a nonviolent crime like you did and a lot of other people in there. They get fucked over by the system by getting pushed back months and months because people can't afford the bond. You know what I mean?
Jail is for the poor.
Yeah, like it really literally is. And like that's why like when people say that they want to remove cash bail, I get that because that would mean that anyone else who's like, you know what I mean, nonviolent, no flight risk, you know, type shit.
And a lot of those people that were in there for like drugs and shit like that. I bet this black Amish guy who was selling meth.
Yeah.
Dude, the fucker was like 6'5". He was probably maybe,
you know what's fucked up?
He was like probably 170. He was skinny as fuck.
You know who Seth Green is, like the actor?
Yeah.
That's who I picture every Amish person looking like because he was in this movie, I think Sex Drive. Have you seen Sex Drive where he's that Amish fuck? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, that's what I picture every Amish guy. And now I picture a black Seth Green and I'm like, man, what's this look like?
No, he was dark.
Yeah,
He was really
fair.
he got burnt.
Something mess. Yeah, damn it. Make your money, I guess, but not
Yeah.
me.
And I was and so
Nah, fucking
Tyrone
dude.
steps up and the guards leave that guy or whatever,
Mhm.
and he steps up, he starts screaming, "You know what you did! You know what you did!" And just runs up on them and sticks them, dude. He just fucking starts beating the fucking piss out of them.
Yeah.
And he's, like I said, he's 350 pounds. This guy's probably maybe 5'10", maybe 250 pounds.
Mhm.
And he's just beating the fucking piss out of him. And I'm over, and they roll past. So the guy talking on the phone, he's like, hang on a second. And he holds the phone and he steps back. He steps back probably about 3 feet, and they roll right between them. And then he continues talking like it's a normal thing. And I'm over there. Everyone's hyping him up, and I'm over there cheering him on. Beat his ass! Beat his ass! And then all of a sudden, the guards fucking basically a siren goes off, and the guards start coming in.
Themselves type shit.
No, there was no cells.
Oh.
It was just bunk beds.
Yeah.
So everyone they're like, just back up. And they like five correctional officers came in.
Camp.
Huh?
No.
Yeah.
A little bit like camp.
It was camp without phones and everything.
And the whole time you want to go home, no one want to be here. Your mom sent you here so she could see her new boyfriend. Like, man, just say what you need to do, Shelly. No, I'm just,
and then so I seen a wicked ass jail fight, and this one guy pissed himself from watching that, and everyone's just fucking roasting him. Damn, this guy just pissed himself. Man, you fucking reek. What the fuck?
Oh, no.
And I got offered sleeping pills in there if I wanted to sleep. I got offered coke. I got offered a bunch of shit. I even had the lottery ticket guy. He's like, hey, hit me up when you get out. I got guns that aren't hot if you want them. They're all filed and everything. I was like,
thank you, sir.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
That's what I said.
Right.
And I talked to a lot of guys, and
but that's good though, because that's good that you got people that at least like you and trust you enough to make, you know what I mean? Because that's the way to do it. That's the only way to do it.
Dude, I actually kind of, I was surviving, dude. I did whatever it took to fucking to thrive and
you
do what
got
I
that
had
skill
to.
set. I know.
And so after that happened, so after every meal, people would pull stuff aside and put it in your pockets. You weren't allowed to keep food from your meals or whatever, and people would hide it in their pockets. And I wondered why the fuck they were doing that. And what they would do is when the guards, they would check every 3 hours, but they had cameras and shit, and everyone hid in the back. And when the guards left after they did their check, everyone would flip up their beds and they'd start making desserts. And that was frowned upon. So they'd be throwing like cornbread in there, Rice Krispie treats. And honestly, I threw some snacks in it too. And we had like 3 or 4 guys just all in 3 different beds, just fucking making all sorts of snacks. And then we had one guy watching and just watching to make sure guards weren't coming or anything like that. Yeah. So we had a lookout and shit like that.
Man, we got to do just to get a fucking cookie.
Man. And so funny thing
Think about this, bro. If this type
3
of
days
energy and an innovation was put towards something else, we'd be out here curing diseases every day, bro.
I swear. And so funny thing is, like, so my 3rd day in or whatever, everyone knew who I was. Everyone knew why I was in there. Like, they find out quick why the fuck you're in there.
Yeah.
Because word spreads quick.
Yeah, because there's certain people that the way you get in there isn't going to be accepted, and you're going to get your ass beat daily, you know?
Yeah. And so Tyrone and that one dude, they got put in 30-day solitary confinement. Yeah. And that's like the one thing, the worst, that is like, so the U.S. is one of those, I mean, you got like Russia and shit like that, but that is like the one thing you could do to a human is put them in solitary confinement, because we constantly need touching, connection, and some sort of thing. And that's, I mean, mainly why some people have like depression and shit like that, because they don't, or they're socially awkward because they aren't getting enough love and touch that they need or whatever to be a happy human being. Yeah. And so that is like one of the worst things you can do is put them in solitary confinement, because then you literally start losing your mind.
Yeah. People will feral, like for real. Like, no, like you said, we're social people. Like,
that is just how we are bred. We're social animals. And so I don't know, it's just baffling how our system works and stuff like that. Like you got other countries and shit like that that will
The 13th Amendment said
yeah.
when you're fuck, I don't know what it is, but you know what I'm talking about. When you become jail property, when you become an inmate, you are
a slave.
You're a slave. You're legally a slave now. You literally don't have any rights. You know what I mean? Which is so ridiculous. That's our whole prison system needs to be reformed because that's the reason.
Because it isn't setting anybody up for success.
Look
when
at
they get
every
out.
other country. Every other
That's
country,
what I was
they
saying.
are looking at like rehabilitating people.
Yeah, I've looked at like other countries like Denmark and shit like that. They have rooms, like everyone has their own TV and books they can read whenever, an
Most
actual
of the time,
bed.
People like in other prisons, like not all of them, of course, but there are legit prisons where there are just people who are in hotel rooms at the, you know what I mean? They're in charge of locking their own doors and shit. And it's because like I get like, okay, there are crimes, of course, like where like, you know what I mean? People who would go on a serial kill, yeah, that person's probably demented and they can't even be like, they're too far gone. But there's so many situations like, okay, drug addicts, you know what I mean? Like any type of
there's a lot of drug addicts in there.
For real. Like just stop treating them as problems and then they might be able to get help. You know what I mean? Type shit. And then it's the type of thing like, oh, invest in our own society. You know, everyone benefits from this. Like, why would you want people out here addicted to pain? You know what I mean? Because that just continues the cycle, to be honest.
Yeah, because you look at people, they're repeated offenders and shit like that. They get out, they don't know what the fuck to do because they're so used to and accustomed to their routine that they had there.
King Von, he got the song called How It Go. He's played it out perfect, bro. Because like he say, once you get out, what are you gonna do? How you gonna stack it? You gonna rap? You gonna go back to trapping? That's how you got back there in the first place. You know what I mean? You can't get a job because no one's gonna hire a fucking felon. You know what I mean? Yeah, a little black felon to be honest. And it's just wild. It's just really wild because it's set up for you to keep fucking up, and once you fuck up, you know what I mean? You're fucked.
And people look at you differently too. Once you
like,
I remember going to get my license and shit like that. Like nobody wanted to help me. Nobody wanted to talk to me. They all looked at me weird.
Like you talking about people you used to know, like friend wise, or
no?
Like...
I'm talking like going to get my license, going to pay fines and shit like that. Once they realize the charges that you had on you, they look at you differently. They judge. They automatically go to the just start judging and thinking and shit like that. But yeah, a lot of the guys I met down there, I didn't want to associate with any of them when I got out. And so, but one dude did really help me in there. He was in there for selling drugs, and he would talk to his brother daily. And I asked him, I was like, hey, I'll give you my mom's number. Can you call her outside the jail and let her know where I'm at, and have her try to call me and stuff like that. But luckily my mom finally answered after that. But my whole family, they were like shocked, like the type of people, because they looked at the jail roster and looked at who was in my block, and there were some scary motherfuckers in there. But it didn't intimidate me. I don't know. It was weird. Well, I don't know how I am is I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable, if that makes sense.
See, same. That's what I was going to say. Well, I feel like I'm literally always uncomfortable. That's like one of the things about anxiety. You know what I mean? Like I'm always uncomfortable, but I've learned to manage it well. And like you said, it's like I'm comfortable being uncomfortable most times. In that situation, I would probably be comfortable, which is kind of scary, but it's because honestly, I know I'm going to be okay. I'm good enough with enough people where they're going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to be quick. Like you said, I'm going to be surviving. I know how to do that. I know how to use people, to be honest, to like get them to like me. You know what I mean? And it's not even that I have to really change much, you know? I feel like most people,
it's just,
you just listen to people. You know what I mean? You see what they're like and you can mirror that. And
you can, I mean, that's like a crazy characteristic too. And like that's a good entrepreneur fucking trait too. You see how they are, and then you change yourself to get how they would like you and shit like that. And I've always been like that. I can adapt really, really well. But this one guy, he was like, hey, I'll help you try to get a hold of your mom and shit like that. And all that. And so about the 5th day, I finally got a hold of my mom, and she's crying. and why'd you do this and all that. I got a little emotional with her too.
I feel
And
you.
I hear my mom crying.
No, I know. I'll say this right now. I've made my mom cry like maybe once in my life, maybe once in my adult life, and like a couple times as a kid. You know what I mean? Because I was a bad kid. I've apologized. That's why we get the mom tattoo. I love my mom. But like that's the worst feeling in the world. You know what I mean? It's like seeing her, like your mom cry at all is bad, but like even like
she's like, do you see those people? I'm like, I'm fine.
I know, right?
Fine.
I know.
And
it's I'm gonna be fine.
And
sorry, I have to keep the lights off.
Yeah. And she's like, well, I went and talked to a jail's bond, and all we'll have to do is pay $500. I'll get you out. I'll get your motorcycle out. And you're just paying me back. And I did put my mom in a rut for a little bit, but I did help her out like crazy. I didn't leave her house. I was fucking anything she needed, I helped her out with. I paid her back. I paid her back then some. And
like what else can you do? You know what I mean? Like you did everything to do.
And anytime and still now I still
of course
I still help her out when she needs it and stuff like that.
We are good Christian boys over here. We love our moms. We respect women, and that's not a joke. Keep going.
Exactly. And she gets me out, and I get my bike out, and I was like, damn, my baby girl. And my mom, this is what she said. She's like, the only way I'm getting your bike out is if you sell it.
Not an ultimatum.
Yeah, my mom did throw that, and I was like, I promise I'll sell it. And I did. I didn't ride my bike much after that, but I did ride it a few times or whatever. But after that, my whole family looked me up on the roster, and they're like, damn, and shit like that. And then so my dad,
some street cred though in the family.
Yeah,
they're like OG Dom over here.
Yeah, and so crazy thing, I get out of jail, and I turn on my phone, and people that I was coming to see, they didn't know what happened to me. So like I was like, I went to jail, and so I'm messaging people. And so crazy thing is, right, that weekend that I was in jail, because I think I went to jail on a Thursday night. I got out Monday, I think. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, I got out on a Monday. Got out on a Monday at 2 p.m. and I called Austin and Elijah. And I was like, I'm out. And they're like, you're crazy. And they're like, some shit happened when you were in there. I was like, what do you mean? A bunch of people died. So the car crash with Troy and Cody and all them, they passed away while I was in jail.
Damn.
Yeah. And I knew Cody, I knew Troy really well. I knew all of them actually, really. I didn't know Austin, but Elijah was really close with Austin. And yeah, they weren't even worried about me at that point. I mean, they were, but their minds were on other shit.
Well, that's fair because
and I completely understood that, but everyone was posting my mugshot on their story. Free Dom, sheep member got caught up, and all sorts of shit. And then after that, basically I went and got my bike, and then I had Elijah with me, and we went looking for that bag.
Really?
Yeah, we went looking for that bag because my favorite hat was in that bag.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I'm serious. And
you didn't find it?
No, I didn't find it. Whoever found it they had a lucky day. They really did. They got a cool hat, drugs, and alcohol. But yeah, that's it for that story.
Damn, that's fucking crazy. Actually, we almost have to go to our other break, so I'll just cut it early. Bam. Actually, you know what? This is a good time to wrap it up. I think. Do you think so?
If you want to,
I think this is a good time. Okay. Well, this has been a good episode. I think actually, it's been really good. I don't want to promise another one this. Yes, there's going to be another one this month, but I don't know if I want to promise the weekly thing again. I'm trying. I am going to try to do it.
I mean, we are busy. Like I'm pretty. Like so I have a kid and all that, and I pay child support. So I don't. That being taken out of my checks, I only make $14.
I feel like
I get $150 taken a week out of my checks. Like this check, I only got $252, and I have loans and shit like that. I have a apartment that I pay for, so I got to work another job.
No, I felt me too. I work 2 jobs. This is my 3rd. But no, okay. So we can talk about this off there, but I got some ideas. All right, remember, guys, stay soft. Be safe out there. Peace.